Hey guys, and welcome back for another video. At the time of filming, this ADA Mini M is approximately 2 months old. As you might be able to tell, it's had quite a rough start. In this video, I'm going to address some of the early problems with the aquarium and hopefully get it back into shape. This aquarium was hit pretty hard by diatom algae. It set in around week 3 and got a bit out of control. You can see it on most surfaces, like on the glassware, the older plant growth of stem plants, the hardscape, almost everywhere basically. I added some blue Neocaridina shrimp, but they aren't exactly the most voracious algae eaters. Originally I had some Amano shrimp added, but unfortunately they jumped out. The large piece of wood hanging out of the aquarium almost certainly had something to do with it. Since the Mini M Aquarium is so small, I'm more limited on the algae eating crew that I can use. I also found this small patch of what looks like cyanobacteria in the foreground. Time to get to work. The process is identical to when I work on larger aquariums. Protect the floor with moving blankets, and unplug the filter and the heater. I use my ADA Pro Razor Mini here. This one is perfect for this sized aquarium. First, I want to manually remove that little patch of cyanobacteria. I've been plagued with cyanobacteria in the past, and it's the last thing that I want to deal with. Thankfully, after removing it, I haven't had any trace of it since, which is quite a blessing. Usually I have a lot of difficulty removing it entirely. For a quicker water change, I can remove the outflow lily pipes and point it into the bucket. The cool thing is that it gets me precisely a 50% water change, since the water continues flowing out until it reaches beneath the inflow lily pipe. I have a red Solo cup that has a bleach and water solution. I use this cup to clean the glass CO2 diffuser and the lily pipes. Once the water finishes draining, I like to remove and clean the inflow lily pipe first. The reason for this is that after I manually clean it, I add it to the bleach solution to get that lowest portion of the lily pipe that can't be reached through manual cleaning. I'll leave them here for about 5 to 10 minutes to fully clean. Sometimes I lose track of time while I'm cleaning other things, but no harm will be done if it's in here for longer. Next, I clean the outflow lily pipe and the hosing. I checked my schedule and it looks like I'm cleaning these every 2 to 4 weeks, depending on how old the aquarium is. Once I see any brown algae growing on the equipment, I make a plan to clean it in the next maintenance session. These were particularly dirty since I've been having the diatom algae bloom, but it usually doesn't get dirty this quickly. Since it's not easily movable, I set a second red Solo cup beside the first one. This one only has water in it. I rinse out and make sure there aren't any traces of bleach remaining, so that way it can't harm the inhabitants or plants in the aquarium. Now it's time to get into this aquarium and start refreshing the layout. Since there was so much algae and poor growth on the bottoms of these stems, I think it would be best to remove them entirely and just replant the healthy portions. I've been observing the tank and wanted to make sure that additional diatom algae was not forming in the layout. Since I see a lot of green on the tops of the Myriophyllum guyana, It's an indication to me that things are improving and stabilizing. When I first set up the aquarium, I used 3 different stem plants. The Myriophyllum guyana was damaged, but relatively okay. The Rotala Vietnam surprisingly did well, considering I always thought it was a more sensitive plant. Unfortunately, the Ludwigia arcuata completely melted away, and I can't find a single trace of it. At my local fish store, I decided to try out the Cryptocoryne spiralis tissue culture. It's pretty shady in the back left corner of the aquarium because of that large piece of driftwood. So I thought maybe trying a plant like this could be more suitable than trying to keep all the colorful stem plants throughout the background. Now that the CO2 diffuser and lily pipes are cleaned, I can add them back into the aquarium safely. If you noticed, I only added the inflow lily pipe at first. This is because I lost the cycle of the filter, and I'll have to prime it again before finishing setting everything up. For some people it might be kind of gross, but blowing into the outflow will restart the cycle really easily. I always have some last-second polishing to do, but observing the aquarium, it's clear to me that the moss has to be dealt with in the next maintenance session. You can see that it's a bit overgrown already. I have an interesting way of trimming the moss in this aquarium. If you guys might be interested, perhaps I can make that a future video topic. After the aquarium is filled and running, I add my GHKH Plus to remineralize to about 120 TDS. That gives me an optimal GH and KH range to make sure that the water is soft but not too soft. I'm happy to say that after this maintenance session, it was clear that this layout continued to stabilize and balance. I haven't had any serious algae issues since, and it's been really smooth sailing. I've also added some nanofish to this layout, but I'll save that for next week's video. It's actually going to be a full gallery tour. I haven't done one in a while, so I thought it would be fun to take you guys around the entire gallery so you can look at all the aquariums. Be sure to subscribe if you want to check out that video. Thanks as always for watching, and I'll see you next time.